We're going to talk about word styles. Here's a document with a heading. It's part 1. If we come down here, there'll be part 2, etc. Part 1's got a subheading here, grants of power. It's got a subheading here. Book 2 has got a subheading. To format these, what we'd do is we'd select part 1, we'd format it, change its font, change its size, bold it, center it, etc. We'd go the same thing to part 2, etc., and then we'd go through and do each of the subheadings. Wouldn't it be good if you could apply all the formatting in one click? Now, if you think about this document and forget that it's got a title just for a minute, part 1 is a very important heading. Part 1, part 2, part 3, and a conclusion. So it's a very important heading. If you had to give it a number between 1 and 9, it would probably be 1 for most important. Forget the title for a minute. Up here, heading 1, already built in for you by Word. Grants of power, heading 2. Notice the difference in the format. Notice that for each of the formats, it applies different formats. This one is italic, this one is bold, this one is also bold, this has got some space above and below it, this has got less space below it, etc. So all that is built into one concept, style. A style is a collection of formatting with a name, and Microsoft give you heading 1, heading 2. As soon as you get heading 3, it'll give you heading 4, it'll go all the way to heading 9. Down here, Attorney General's power, a heading 2, lovely. Down here, part 2 is a heading 1, validity of power is a heading 2, and here's a neat trick. The next heading down here, trading corporations, is going to be a heading 2 because it's part of part 2. But the last thing that we did was to make validity of power heading 2. Word has a function in it that will allow you to repeat the last action that you've performed, and you get that function by hitting the F4 key. Back down to here, financial corporations is a heading 2, F4, labour relations, F4, validity of issues, F4, part 3, can't hit F4 because that would apply heading 2, but part 3 is a heading 1. Heading 1, external affairs, heading 2, extraterritorial, F4, because it's the last thing we did, F4, last thing we did, etc., etc. Conclusion, we might make it a heading 1. Now, can you change the look of these styles? Of course you can. We'll do that in another video, but look at your document. All nicely formatted, very, very quick, and the formatting is consistent all the way through. Now, that's the first part of styles. That's the tip of the iceberg. From here on, it gets better.